We're on Avodah Zarah, Perek Daled, Mishnah Yud Aleph, 11th Mishnah, the 4th chapter of Masechet Avodah Zarah. We're going to talk about the complicated question of what do you do when you have kosher wine in the possession of a non-Jew, even if it's closed kosher wine. How do you know that he didn't touch it? Hamtaher Yayin Nesech Nochri, v'notno birshuto, b'bayit hapatuach l'reshut harabim. Okay, if a person is mitaher Yayin Nesech Nochri, meaning he made wine for a non-Jew, b'tahara, i.e. the non-Jew, he wanted to sell kosher wine, so he hired the Jew to make wine for him, so he's not going to touch it. Okay, so that's called mitaher Yaino. Yisrael shedarach harabim shel nochri, he took the grapes of the non-Jew, b'kashrut, as kosher wine, to sell them to Jews. Okay, and the Jew is going to pay the non-Jew back when he sells the wine much later on. So he makes this kosher wine, and then no birshuto, and he gives it. But then now he gives it back to the non-Jew. It's your barrels, and this is like the barrels. Actually, I was reading in the Professor Soloveitchik book. He said the barrel making was terrible. It wasn't closed. It didn't seal properly. There was air on all sides. And if it's true in the Middle Ages, how much more so it must have been true in the times of in ancient times. So it's a house that's open or a place that's open to the public thoroughfare. If it's a city that has both Jews and non-Jews, then mutar, the wine is mutar. Why? Mirtat. This is a very famous word in kashrut. Mirtat. There's fear. The mirtat nochri. The non-Jew is afraid. Maybe the Jew is going to see. The Jews that are passing by Reshut Harabim are going to see. I mean, the whole point is he wants to sell it as kosher wine. If some Jew sees him drinking from the wine or touching the wine, they're off and they're not going to buy it. So he's going to lose money. Therefore, once there's a financial interest, even in the Mishnah we see that if the non-Jew has a financial interest and there's some kind of reason for him to be afraid, then the wine will be permitted. Even if there's no key and no seal on the wine, shari, it's permitted. Okay, and we said vusha elo milva yayin. Okay, even though that's only if the wine is not, he doesn't have a lien on the wine, etc., as we learned in the previous Mishnah. But that's in a place where there's both Jews and non-Jews. But be'ir shekula goyim, in a city full of it's only non-Jewish city, asur, then it's prohibited. Ad sheoshiv shomer, unless he puts a shomer, until he places a shomer, a guard, to ensure the wine isn't touched by the non-Jew. Why? Because if there's nobody to pass by, if it's all non-Jews there, then it's prohibited. The shomer doesn't have to be sitting there being yoshev u'mishamer. Afapishu yotzei v'nichnas mutar. This is a very famous concept in kashrut called yotzei v'nichnas. When you have a mashkiach, he doesn't have to be standing in the kitchen the whole time. You have to have a very, very common, very important principle. You have to have mirtat. You have to have this idea. The non-Jew is afraid because he knows that there's a person coming and going. He doesn't know when he's going to come. And if he's caught, he's going to lose money. So the Mishnah says explicitly, you can have what's called a yotzei v'nichnas. In America, they call it yotzei v'nichnas. Yotzei v'nichnas, going out, coming in. Goes out, enters in, as long as the non-Jew doesn't know when he'll come back, that's permitted. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar says, Kol reshut goyim achati. All of the non-Jewish possessions is all considered the same. What's going on? So the Bartenura basis says the Gemara. What's the machlok between Rabbi Shimon and Tanakama? Tanakama savar. Sheniach Yisrael yayin b'shuto shel nachri bal yayin. If it's in the possession of the owner of the wine, hu deba'inin she'abayit patuach l'reshut harabim v'ir she'Yisrael v'nachrim darim ba. Then it has to be, since it's his wine, really he paid for it. It's going to be his when he pays for it. Therefore, you have to have some oversight. It has to be open to the public and Jews walking by. But if he puts it in the hands of a third party, the Tanakama says, then afilu be'ir she'ein Yisrael darim b'shari, then it's permitted. So the Tanakama felt, yes, when do you need if it's birshuto, the Mishnah says, then you need these conditions of bait patuach, etc. But if it's in the third party, the non-Jew, then it's permitted, then you don't have to have these conditions, even in ir shekula goyim. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar says, no, kol reshut goyim achati. When it's in reshut goyim, it's all considered the same. Rabbi Shimon says, it doesn't, just like if it was in the possession of the wine owner, it'd be asur unless the conditions were met. The same rules apply in the house of a third party, a non-Jewish third party. Then you have Jews and non-Jews living there in an open house, etc. We pass him like Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. It doesn't matter whether the non-Jew is the owner or he's just a watchman. You have to have some kind of oversight. Very important. If the key, maybe the wine is locked, or the seal is in the hands of a Jew, meaning you have a way to oversight, even though you can't walk in and walk out, you'll know that it's been tampered with. Whether it's in the possession of the owner or another non-Jew, a third party, mutar l'divrei hakol, it's permissible according to everyone, because the wine was sealed, and you would know if it was tampered with in any way. We'll stop here and dedicate our learning to memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman.